Can we show by hands in this room how many people were not born in a health facility? If you're here, you're not born in a health facility. Let's show by hands. And I want you to take a quick look around the room to see, what people, who were not born in a health facility. Okay, great. Now, another one, the last one. Let's show by hands how many people in this room have had uncles, siblings, friends to support them to get to where they are today. Let's show by hands. Whoa, it's a room full. Awesome, thank you. Now, isn't it exciting and amazing that in spite of our different backgrounds, we all really share a commonality in the fact that we've had different people, to sort of help us to get to where we are today? I know this too well. Really, I know this too well. Because some of the people who have actually helped me to get to where I am today are actually sitting here. I was sitting right next to one Sangu and Patrick and, my own community as well. So I was born on a cocoa farm in a small village in the western region of Ghana. I grew up without electricity and running water for the first 10 years of my life, studying with candles and lanterns. And when I was in high school, because I was so fortunate and blessed to be awarded a Ghana Cocoa Board scholarship, which covered tuition, I wouldn't let my education go waste. And I wouldn't, leave school. I saw it as a huge and incredible opportunity. So what I did, I supplemented my education by working on the streets of Kumasi to, during the vacations to sort of, help my education. You could say life was tough, but I would say life was manageable. It was manageable in the sense that all through those circumstances, I had a really incredible, supportive community. I had people who believed in me. I had counselors, teachers, friends who were there for me. And their support and their love, catapulted me all the way through high school and later at college at the University of Pennsylvania, where I did well. In May 2015, I was one of the graduating students at the University of Pennsylvania to be awarded one of the university's highest honors, the President's Prize, a $150,000 seed funding, which I decided to use to establish a medical clinic and a tuition-free girls' school back in my village. I will tell you, those were like really exciting times. All the press, all the cameras, light camera, it was nice. People blasting stuff on my Facebook wall. I was like, whoa. I became like a Beyonce or a Jay-Z overnight. Yeah, everyone like, what? I was just like, I was sitting in the train, are you Shadrack? I'm like, I don't even know if I'm Shadrack. But those were also equally difficult moments. Why were they difficult? Difficult because I had to make a really tough choice, tough decision. Whether to accept the offer, come back home and forfeit my student visa as an international student, or to stay and continue my medical school enrollment plans per the plans of my parents, African parents. Yeah, African parents want you to go to school. So that was really tough. But ultimately and thankfully, I had, fellow Ghanaian students at Penn who were willing to, come on board with the vision, become a community to me, and then move back home to Ghana to kickstart the initiative. What I didn't prepare when I was moving back to Ghana was that the actual choice of deciding to move back home or not will literally be a mere speck of the problems that I would encounter in this journey. And we had many issues. Issues ranging from land acquisition. Patrick, I'm sure you know this too well. Issues ranging from land acquisition to labor recruitment, all the way to the people who wanted some one city, just to register your organization in this country. Those were tough times. Many, many tough days that bunch of 23-year-olds had to continue, every day literally bowing our heads in despair, not knowing where to turn or literally what to do next. But in each single moment, my community intervened. The people in my village intervened. They donated 53 acres of land, donated free communal labor, and actually formed a village committee to support the organization's efforts. And what still blows my mind till today is the fact that the community was actually able to come together and say, look, you came from America, you came here, and then you want to build a girls' school and a medical clinic. That's nice. Now, you will probably go back to America. When you go, how do we self-sustain this? We have to think about this. And so I love what, Ms. Neblet actually mentioned. Because it's so emblematic of, the sense of community and the sense of thinking that exists in my community. They actually sat down and said, look, we are all cocoa farmers. Ghana is the second leading producer of cocoa in the world. And Ghana actually earns about $1.9 billion in annual export revenue just from cocoa alone. If you're here and you love chocolate, you have to be curious about these numbers. Now, and then, I was like, wow, that's actually true. I mean, it's true. We know cocoa, Ghana, cocoa. But then they go like, so why are we then poor? We are the cocoa farmers who actually make sure that Ghana is thriving. Why are we poor? It doesn't make sense. And then in that moment, a light bulb went off. One of the women in the community circle literally came up and said, we have 50 acres. Why don't we put the girls' school and the medical clinic on 10 acres and blow up a 40-acre cocoa plantation? Annually, the profits from the cocoa plantation will then be funneled back to self-sustained operations of the school and the clinic. I was like, bro, my Ivy League education didn't teach me that. It was crazy, right? The power of a community. They don't need any foreign interventions. Right there, they had it. And I didn't need any funding as a 22-year-old for that. All I needed was the community. The community that has sustained me all these years. I was shocked. Today, in less than 2 years since operations, Cocoa 360, which is the name of the organization, now has grown to serve 8 communities, enrolled 90 young girls in our tuition-free girls' school, and our medical clinic is now gearing up to, be seeing 240 babies delivered and actually having almost 1,750 family planning visits by the end of this year. That, my friends, is the power of a community. Now, when I was in high school, when I was at Opoku School, one of the things that I loved to do, to be honest, was the very fact that I was always looking forward to vacations. I was looking forward to the moment where, I'll just get aboard the Sprinter bus and then head back to the village. No trunk, no chop box, no worries. I know some of my friends were really looking forward to studying. I don't know, I was not that nerdy. But I looked forward to those special moments because every time I was in the village and, it was time for me to head back to school, my mom would hold my hand and take me to every single house. And what the women would do is untie knots in their clothes, take out money, and give it to me. Now, at that time I was naive. I didn't really know what was going on. But now getting to where I am today and reflecting and looking back, I see how my community and many of these women were silently saying, Shadrack, no one ever makes it alone. You will and are raised by a community. So you will have to give back to this community. And it's amazing how that continues to live strongly with me today. Now, when we started this discussion, I asked those 2 questions. And for the latter one, almost everyone's hands was up. Isn't it incredible? Because when you think about it, there is this quote that is like literally so etched in our mind. Everyone says, oh, talent is universal, opportunity is not. But today we actually get to challenge that quote. Talent is universal, and opportunity for a supportive network is also almost universal. Because everyone in this room literally raised up their hands. You have it and I have it. And I invite you and challenge you today to use your community of friends, your community of professors, your community of teachers, your community of mentors to spark that change that you wish to see in the world. Thank you.